And welcome back to Stories from the River. This is your host, Charlie Malouf. We've got a special episode for you today, the one and only Kim Harkness, episode 372. Let's go.
Welcome to Stories from the River, a show in which we go behind the scenes at Broad River Retail.
Kim, welcome back to the pod.
Thanks for having me back. It's been a hot minute.
It's been a hot minute.
Yeah.
Now, you've had an interesting, adventurous summer, have you not?
I have.
Tell us about
It's been
where you've
crazy.
been.
I went to Alaska.
Oh, I hear a lot of people have been taking these Alaska trips.
It was phenomenal. It was not my choice. My husband chooses a trip, and then the next year I'll choose the next trip. And I am I like my toes in the sand. I like the hot weather. I like getting some sun. And I'm like, Alaska. But yeah, went to Alaska and I loved every minute of it. It was a bucket list. It was phenomenal.
So Lou did okay.
Lou did fantastic. It was great.
Now, because you went in the summer, and
Yep.
I did see some pictures that you shared, and you were layered up.
I was layered
It was a little
up.
bit chilly.
It's still chilly. It was probably 40s at night, and I like mid 50s, high 50s. But it didn't rain.
Oh, that's great.
It did not rain. So I was like a human burrito, just all
A human burrito.
Yes.
Did you catch or eat some good seafood?
I had the phenomenal king crab legs up there,
There you
and
go.
they are not cheap and worth every penny,
Worth every cent.
every
There you go.
cent. It was phenomenal.
Let's get into it.
Okay.
All right. So you wear multiple hats: Vice President of Marketing, Communications, and Community Outreach. You are the what they joke around the office is the longest title.
The longest
Everyone
title.
tries to get a title as long as yours. We're just trying to figure out how to shorten yours. We're not that smart. I don't know. Corey was Vice President of IT and Business Intelligence. He's like, Charlie, I just want to be IT. So he got his shortened. And he just said it all folds under. So maybe you'll come to us one day.
Someday, maybe. Aspirational goal.
Yeah. Okay. So we got a lot going on. You know, you've put some ribbons on some buildings, and you've had some grand openings and grand reopenings. I want to get into all that. And since the last time you were on the pod, your team's continued to grow, and I'm sure it will continue. We've continued to grow as well.
Yes.
We're in
Exciting
multiple-
times. It's been a lot, but a lot of excitement around here. Yeah.
And how long have you been at the river now?
9 years.
9 years. Gosh, I would have come in under on that one. I would have guessed 7 or 8. I'm always low on these things
9
now.
years.
Wow, I still remember when you started. I still remember your interview.
I remember that as well. I do. Everybody remembers day one, and I remember the interview process as
I can't
well.
believe you're almost at the decade.
Almost.
You're almost
Well,
a
you're
decade.
making me sound a
The
little.
decade memory maker.
Okay.
And then you also oversee the steering committee. I mean, for us, you serve on the steering committee
Yes.
and serve really a leadership role for the National Steering Committee at corporate. And you're also a key member of our executive strategy team.
Yes.
So you got a lot going on.
I got a lot. It keeps me busy. Keeps me hopping.
That's
I mean,
right.
you wake up and you get to your desk and you're like, oh, what is today? So it's not the same. There's never 2 days in a row that are the same.
Sometimes I might surprise you and say, hey, we need a playbook. When do you need it? A couple days ago.
Yeah, a couple of days ago, here we go.
there
So
we go.
yeah, giddy up.
All right, now we're a little bit of this topsy-turvy, lopsided, kind of wonky retail market. Traffic's not great, so maybe we'll just address the elephant in the room right away. We thought it was going to be maybe short-lived this year. We actually, I was going back and studying the numbers. The first few weeks were actually really, really, really good for us.
Yeah.
And then we got hit by this winter storm.
Week 4 and 5.
Yeah, knocked the wind out of our sails 2 weeks in a row, the worst kind of snow we've had in 21 years.
With
in
stores
Charlotte.
closed.
Yeah,
I mean,
22 years maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah, 21,
yes.
22 years.
It's the worst since I've been here, I can tell you
I
that.
think it was back since 04 maybe or 05. So the worst winter storm that we've had, and it was not really over $3 million off of our top line in the southeast markets. We were like, hey, as we go to the northwest and northeast, we might be dealing with snow. No, we dealt with it here in our core markets. But then we never really kind of got it back, because then you had like gas prices going crazy, and the Strait of Hormuz, you can't get oil, and so traffic's really been a struggle on the struggle bus here in the last I don't know, 17 weeks or so. I mean, May was okay, but March, April, and June, and
Yeah, once we
July
hit
is a struggle.
Q2, that's when we saw the decline really steadily.
So how do you address that? I mean, this topic here is like retail marketing in an uncertain economy. Like, What are your strategies, your
Wow.
tactics? How do you pivot?
The first thing is that the elephant? Yeah, and it's a heavy elephant on a lot of people. And not just for businesses, but for the people in the stores. I mean, this is their daily life, and trying to figure out how to convert and how to, to get to the next. You can't fix the things that you have no control over. We don't have control over the Strait of Hormuz. We don't have control over the gas prices, right? So you have to control your controllables. I think that was an Inky Johnson quote, right? It is, but it is true.
UT alum.
So
The orange UT.
the orange,
Not
the
burnt,
real,
Not the burnt orange, Tennessee.
the real UT. So you control your controllables, and you understand you have to understand what they are. The macroeconomics are with those with the tariffs, with all of the increased inflation and the prices of war. There becomes uncertainty, right? And that is just a human natural element. There's uncertainty. So naturally, what happens? We contract, right? We get into our safe space. Can we pivot from that? Sure, we can pivot, but it's not going to necessarily change all the behaviors, but it is meeting people where they are. So what does that mean? Well, we're digging in furiously. So a lot of times we don't have to dig too deep, but now we're getting even deeper into the analytics. You've got to trust the analytics and follow what it's telling you. Well, what we know is that people are taking less vacations, right? They're spending less on the discretionary things, right? They're feeding their families, right? So are you buying that sofa, or are you buying the things that you need today to put food on the table? You can't attack something until you diagnose it. So that's really where we are. I mean, it takes weeks to do that. And unfortunately, you understand it, but digging deep on where we're attacking, what audience, for example, what audience is still spending. We know that our average ticket is higher, right? So that is a group that is spending. So they have discretionary funds. So those are the people that you want to talk to. You're not going to ignore those other audiences that maybe aren't buying as much.
You want to fish where the fish are biting.
You want to fish where the fish are biting. And then also with that, where are those audiences? Where are they spending their time? Is it on the YouTube? Is it more social, less digital?
Yeah,
I mean, so
adjusting.
you're adjusting.
Where you making your dollar stretch further
That's
for the media. So how have you done that this year?
How have I done?
Well, how have you changed the media buy strategy to make sure it's efficient? And we talk about this acronym ROAS, return on
ad
advertising.
spend, yes.
Yeah.
So we're always optimizing. So I have a great partner in Gadfly Media, and that's John Gadbois and his team. And truly, it's a balance. You can't, or you shouldn't, you can, but you should not really make the dramatic changes to see this happen, because when that happens, you're always going to have a juggle. You get too far this way or too far that way. I liken it to, I like to think about it as a balloon. Like if you take a balloon and it's got helium in it, and you let it go and it comes back down, right? And you always want to just take enough to just do this. So it's always in this really happy medium versus the extreme ups and extreme downs, because that is where you get volatility. And then that's also where behaviors can form as well, if you have too far to the left or too far to the right. I'll give an example, and probably the Bed Bath & Beyond, Bed Bath & Beyond. The 20% coupon. I was like, I hate to talk about people when they're down, but yes, and they are back, but it took them a long time to do that. People would not go into the stores unless they had that 20% off coupon. And so you take it out of market, you could see that their traffic and their sales would decline. And so that was a behavior that they created. Yeah. And was it detrimental? It was a contributor.
I think what you're talking about, like, okay, there's things that we can control, and that might be where we go find the audiences who are buying, right? And how we adjust our media buy. And then there's other things like we want to make sure we still have a long-term approach versus the short-termism. And so if we condition the market, like only come in here when we got 40% off or 50% off, or run these extravagant sales or clearance sales, whatever, you just condition the market to only come in.
To
so
only
you have to
come
kind
in.
of keep that balance to like,
Right.
we also want to be around, we don't want to just drive the business for this weekend. We also want to drive it for the
longevity.
next 500 weekends,
That's
right? And
it.
so there's a balance there in kind of the messaging and the style. Now, average ticket, how much does the customer who's out there shopping versus also how do you juxtapose that with like the product mix and like this launch of Ashley Luxe?
Oh, the Ashley Luxe has been incredible timing for this because it is a higher ticket, higher value there. And so it is, in my opinion, it came in just at the right time because it is serving a need and it is also a new message and an exciting message. And it's also a stretch for those that may not be necessarily in the market. So you're pulling them in as well. So Ashley Luxe has been timely. I love the product. I love the storytelling aspect of it.
Yeah.
It's been great.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, let's pivot to like just growth and grand openings, and so we've had quite a bit of that. You got a few more here on deck. You cut. By the way, this is episode 372, which we mentioned earlier, and it's this drops on Tuesday, August 18th.
Yes.
We're recording it a little bit before then, but so your birthday is on the 17th.
The 17th.
Yeah,
I'm a Leo. Shocker,
yeah,
right?
And so we would have just celebrated our 5th annual Home Furnishings Expert Soiree.
Soiree, that's correct.
And now we're on the cusp of a grand opening, much anticipated one in South Portland,
Maine.
Yeah,
That's
the main
right.
event, and then also we have a grand reopening celebration with the Hickory Strong, and then we have a soft opening in Statesville. Yeah, so we've got a lot going on.
You're keeping us busy around
And
here.
in May, we kind of had the Richland
That's right.
acquisition. We had, the Moscow and Spokane grand openings on the single
On
day.
the same day.
On the same day.
On the same day.
Yeah, same day. You
First time
you,
ever.
You planned that.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
And then we had, I think, the grand opening also of Easley. So May was big, grand openings, soft openings, Portland open.
Yeah.
Now we got grand openings and reopenings coming back again. So you got a lot going on with ribbons. And well, how do you think about those, like executing a big event like that? Can you guys make it look kind of easy?
Well, thanks for that. I mean, that's excellent feedback. I like
Even if
that.
your chef or something backs out at the last minute, you have to like scramble to find
That's
someone
it.
else to cook the food, and you find like a top chef candidate or something.
That's
right?
correct. And you know what? We had a little help from our friends from MMX and in the events. It was great. I mean,
Yeah.
so that's how we make it look easy. We depend on our people, right? And I know when we did a feedback session on that, people were shocked of what happens behind the curtain. And if you're really doing it well, people don't ever know what happens behind the curtain, and that's the way it should be. So a lot of times we have to pivot.
Well, it's a great program. I mean, we do 2 programs, right? Like Wednesday or Thursday, we're usually going to cut the ribbon and bring in like maybe the mayor or council person or something, or someone from the city, the state, the town, the government, and then our partners, and then our leadership team, and then celebrate the team, the store, and they get kind of their moment to shine and be shined upon. And
Yeah, it's a great recognition for everyone that made it happen.
That's right.
And it can't, not just
construction
the
partners.
construction partners, the community partners. I mean, it is really a labor of love, and it's just such a great time to recognize everything that came into play there.
And so that's a great event. But then the fun event is like on Saturday with the face painting, with the music, with the
Take a chance wall.
Well, I was going to say the Take a Chance wall, which I don't know how that came about, but that's become, I think some of the iconic elements have been like the ribbon on the store. Everyone kind of comments, which is it? I mean, that's Instagram worthy.
Yes.
That's gram worthy,
Yes.
right? Get some gram praise on that one.
Yes.
And that really resonates on social, and everyone loves it. And as you're driving by it, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
And really draws people in. And then the Take a Chance wall, when people are just lining up outside the doors early on Saturday morning, like that's like a Black Friday thing from 20 years ago.
It is. You and I have talked about this. If you would have told me that anyone was lining up at a furniture store at 9 a.m. in the cold or in the rain or whatever,
Which
or
they've
just
done.
lining up an hour before the store opens, I would have called you a liar. I mean, like for furniture, I'm like, maybe for the TV, maybe for the hot toy that for Christmas, but they line up and they love it.
It's not like we got like Taylor Swift concert tickets given away or like World Cup semifinal tickets.
No, we don't have any of those either.
Uh,
You have to stretch that budget a little bit.
yeah. Okay, but they do it because you got some great things that they can take a chance.
They
and
do.
win. Yeah.
It's a shopping spree, and shopping sprees, and sometimes we give away beds, and they line up for it. It's great.
So, given kind of your vantage point, if you go up 10,000 foot view,
Yep.
right, and you get this macro view, and so you got this liaison with other top licensees, with corporate, you're in the know on all the executive strategy discussions with our 2030 vision and plan here at Broad River Retail, and what we're doing through like the Lighthouse Fund or St. Jude, our retail partners, community efforts, and then with your team, and we're taking communications and. I was listening to a podcast where they were citing how there's like not enough people at the FDA, and that's how maybe they botched this whole Taylor Farms and the lettuce, communications. That's a whole other topic there. But how are you thinking about kind of growing the team and the future of marketing, the future of kind of what Broad River Retail, and kind of your vision for that?
Thanks for the question. It's really exciting.
I'm gonna thank Tyler for the question.
We'll thank Tyler for the questions. He sets us up really nice. For many years, as we have grown, we grew from 2 people in this department.
That's a little too little.
It was tiny, but that was 15 stores, right? And so we've come away.
Was that when you started? We had 15 stores?
We had 15 stores, yes.
Everyone interested how many stores we had when they started. That's why I asked you.
Yes, 15 stores and 2 people. So you grow, there's a lot more that's needed. And especially when you grow into new markets and it looks different, the support is different. And so it takes more than just 2 people, number one. And then you wear many hats, and we all are accustomed to that. In every department across Broad River, it is, I guess, kind of a rite to passage, right? Because it's, are you doing a lot? But you know what you're doing? You're learning a lot. You're learning in the trenches, and you learn how things work, and you can pull it apart and build it up, And so if you don't do that, then you don't have the same viewpoint. So really what we're doing right now is really going through a reorganization, decoupling some of the positions because there have been roles that have, mine included. You just talked about we've got 3, I've got 3 departments and lots of things underneath. How do we look at that differently by decoupling and allowing that growth to happen in more channels, served by other people. So you have to do that strategically, and you can't grow it fast. You have to grow it mindfully, and within our harvest, right?
That's right.
So
within the harvest.
we do. So I say that because we have some of these roles that we're looking at for example, I've got a senior manager who is working on all of the, she's got analytics, she's got playbooks, she's also in charge of all the production and ensuring all the communications gets out to the stores. I mean, there's just a lot under that one role. We did this with the creative team a couple of years ago. I had to get another person there because I couldn't have my creative manager who was setting the strategy working all the execution too. I mean, it was,
And we had external and
internal,
needs.
external. So it's just decoupling. It's just taking a step back and really analyzing what the needs are and creating the appropriate channels.
Yeah, and when you think about decoupling, let me teach back a couple things and you respond to them. Mm-hmm. So at one point, like we ran all events through over your oversight, and now like we're pushing that off because it was pretty broad, but we needed to kind of, as our company was getting more breadth, we needed to kind of reduce that so you could focus more on the core elements, but then rely on key partners and still have influence over the strategy. By the very same token, I assume that like now we got this breadth that I'm talking about, where you can't have a master of all trades. You got to have more specialization.
You have to have some specialization
on the production,
there.
on the creativity part, on the media analysis piece.
Yes.
And then as you think about kind of yourself, and as you have to kind of live at a higher level, you have to kind of rely on your A players who are kind of going to step up and take on more strategic elements. So where did I get that right? Where did I get that wrong? Where would you fill in any of the blanks?
Yeah, I think you got it all right.
Well,
you got all of that right.
We're still early, folks.
You got it all right. We do have to have some specialists because for so long we have been generalist, and we've been really good at being that. You have to know a lot about everything. And so a lot, there's only so much there in your filing cabinet in your brain, right?
Yeah.
And so where is the point that you become less efficient when that happens, when you're
Yeah.
taking on too much? So I know, I know we're going to be more efficient and better as we go through this process. And it's change management is hard.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
Well, it's the Marshall Goldsmith. What got us here won't get us
Won't
there,
get us
and
there.
it requires scale, right? So what got us here was like, being able to kind of be a generalist. You can kind of wear multiple hats. Like if you're a single store operator, you're gonna wear a whole lot of hats, right? Because you got to do a whole lot of things. But as you get the scale, you can afford the specialization. And if you don't, it'll actually hold the business back. So you always kind of have to be changing along with how the business needs are changing. And then you're even thinking, multiple years ahead, because I know you've been planning this intranet as we kind of scale up. And now we're going from this kind of a super regional organization to this kind of national organization,
right.
and this durable scalability phrase. And what does that look like for how we message and communicate with our folks? And can we rely on SharePoint? Maybe it's gotten us here, but maybe it won't get us to where we're going to go, when you think about it 3 to 5 years down the road.
Yeah, an intranet is really going to be a core piece for our business moving forward. And working with Will Luke and Corey Edens, IT and our project management there. And just the selecting that and then just moving that ball forward, because when you think about not just here in our legacy markets, when we continue to scale outward, how are we supporting those markets? Like, think about a different time zone. You're 3 hours, behind.
I know.
We've had this challenge,
Yeah.
right? So
I think it's I'm sorry to cut you off.
that's fine.
I think it's the answer to how do you scale culture.
Yes.
And,
Yeah.
and you really, what tools do you need to do that, right? To
Right.
keep the culture and keep the connection tight.
Yeah. And I guess about a year or two, we went through. We've been kicking the can around the internet for a long time, and we went through an exercise to understand how we were communicating to our memory makers, and even in between departments. And we found when we started whiteboarding, it was well over 15, 20. I mean, it was
There's a
so
lot.
many different ways that we communicate between Voxer and SharePoint and Teams, and I mean, it was incredible. We were just and we're like, if you're scaling, and especially to provide culture, you got to bring that in. You got to be connecting
Yeah.
and talking on the same phone line, if you
Yeah.
will.
Well, it sounds like you're collaborating internally with key thought leaders and partners, and thinking through kind of how we kind of move the organization along with our growth. And
Yes.
so that's vital. One of the things that you talk about culture, and that's kind of foundational to us, is kind of giving back and being an important partner in our communities. And our people have always had a heart for not only supporting other memory makers, but also supporting our neighbors in our communities, and being mindful of our organizational wake. Talk about making an impact in our communities and how you think about that.
Yeah, it is. It's part of our purpose, right? Furnishing life's best memories, and we say it, but we live it here at Broad River, and which is fantastic.
Can I ask you to pull that thread just a little
Yeah.
bit? Because when someone hears that's part of our culture,
Yeah.
and you say furnishing life's best memories, I think there's something you're inferring at the other end of that, right? Who's on the end of the supply chain for whose memories are getting
Yeah.
furnished? Whose best memories are getting
Our
furnished?
best memories. We are furnishing life's best memories for our memory makers,
Yeah.
right? Internally, we want to make sure that we're supporting each other internally. We're furnishing life's best memories for our guests, because ultimately they are not just buying a sofa, not just buying a dining room table. That is what they're taking into their home. That's their most precious place. And so we're furnishing life's best memories for them. And then we're furnishing life's best memories for the community.
Yeah.
And that's the communities that we serve, because ultimately we're here for service.
Yeah, and that's how that community impact ties back to our
Yes.
purpose, because
Yes.
you can put all those people who benefit from furnishing life's best memories at the end of that supply chain. I mean, even our partners some people might call them vendors. We say partners.
They're partners.
Right? So it's not like a zero-sum game. It's a win-win-win. It's mutual prosperity. Even our guests, we don't want to have an unfair profit against them. We want them to have a fair value for what they paid for their hard-working money. But in our communities, so why Like, why is that important? Because we don't have to do that.
No.
And so, but why does that peg to our purpose?
You know what?
And why is that something that resonates with our people?
It fills your cup. It just fills your cup inherently. Giving back to others is part of who we are as human beings. Is helping others, and it gives you an opportunity to instead of looking inwardly, you're outward looking and understanding where you can make the biggest impact. You know, as a person, as a human being, as a coworker, as a peer, or helping someone even select the right piece of furniture. So it's of service. And you know, I'm gonna pivot a little bit to the be the light, right? So we, you know, that was a celebration last week that we had, and so much. I was just thrilled with seeing all of the pictures and all of the giving back that week. Our Memory Maker Experience team, we have a whole team around this purpose. The Memory Maker Experience team provided opportunities for people to go be a light to others, go serve. And so that's what I say when we peg back, we truly live it at Broad River. It's not just a few words on a piece of paper or at the end of an email. It truly pegs to our heart.
Okay. Thank you for that. I want to pull the thread on a couple topics that I kind of slightly introduced earlier. So we talked about scaling to adjacent markets, and you know, I know we've got like a longtime community partners here in the Southeast. You know, we've done St. Jude nationally, we've done Beds for Kids, but now when we go into these new markets like Spokane, you've got a new partnership with the Spokane Indians, but also like, how do you find like that mattress partner like Sleep in Heavenly Peace or whomever? How do you think about scaling community outreach and partnerships to like Maine or Washington State or Idaho?
Yeah, it's a lot different because here in the Carolinas, we are partnered with Beds for Kids, who is the furniture bank, if you will. And so any needs that we have, we just go straight to Beds for Kids that serves our Carolinas and Georgia. And so scaling in others, we first look for those community partners that perhaps we already have a tie to in our legacy market. Sleep in Heavenly Peace is a good one, for example. And we look to see if there's other chapters that are across the country. Sometimes there are not. I have a great team. Julia Weinberg, she is works on our community outreach, and Tyler supports that from a communications perspective. And so she is literally calling people and on the internet just trying to find the right partner that serves our Hope to Dream program to get kids in beds and furniture there.
We've got to make sure you have the right partner, right?
You got to have the right partner.
Who's running a great organization, who we can kind of both help each other out.
So we have to vet them. We got to vet them, got to make sure they're 501c3, got to make sure that they are aligned to Broad River Retail's purpose. And always giving back is great no matter what you're doing, but we want to make sure that there is a great alignment. I'm going to give a great example.
Okay.
And this one,
I'm ready for it.
You ready for it?
I'm here for it.
And I know you saw this, but so Sleep in Heavenly Peace is our partner in Spokane. And they actually partnered with Melanie Pratt, and Melanie and the team, they did a build day. So Lenny and his team with Sleep in Heavenly Peace, they came out and did a build. They did a volunteer opportunity there. They brought the volunteer opportunity to them, and just the impact that they're making already, just a new market, new store, and just embracing that.
That's really how you cascade culture.
Yeah.
I mean, like several folks, you know, who transferred from our Southeast stores up there and wanted to kind of replicate, hey, we like to serve, we like to give back, we want to help kids who need beds, and so we built beds. We worked with Sleep in Heavenly Peace. They had an arrangement there, and so that's really cool. I mean, to do things that we do here and do those up there, and should bring in some of those same elements. Just the faces may change, the names may change, but really the service and giving back is still all present.
It's all present, and then being able to amplify that with the Spokane Indians, which is really cool. So Tyler Trill, he came to me and said, "Hey, he's like, I've been in the market, and this is a really great opportunity to not only from a marketing position, but from the community position, because we tied Sleep in Heavenly Peace with that as well. So there was the community piece. We gave, had a community donation, and now there's exposure for Sleep in Heavenly Peace that they may not have received as
cool.
well with
Yeah.
the Spokane Indians.
Yeah.
And so it was just a great opportunity.
Didn't you or someone throw out the first pitch for one?
Melanie did.
Melanie did.
Melanie
That's great.
did,
That's
yes.
great.
She did a great job, sure did.
Yep. Was it a strike?
It was a strike, right down the
Awesome.
middle.
Right down the middle.
Right down the middle.
Okay. Then maybe the last thing I want to kind of touch on, we talked about like your thought leadership, here internally with the executive strategy team, and then with AGR on the steering committee, which you've kind of led, I guess, from the licensee perspective for many years now. But also you've taken leadership role with like St. Jude on their advisory council, and now the inaugural Synchrony advisory council. So why do you think you're being called upon to kind of serve on these councils and have your voice heard? And maybe how would you counsel other people who kind of want to get involved at that level?
Yeah. Well, so first, I think that there is such great partnerships with Broad River Retail and great respect for this company. And Broad River leads from the front. And we are willing to test. We're willing to have transparency. We're willing to have the hard conversations. We're willing to share experiences and ideas. And so I think that's first. That opens the door when you have a willing partner to be just that, a partner at the table versus someone that could be sitting at a table just throwing the ideas and walking away, or throwing a complaint and walking away. We are truly partners with these folks that we sit with, and so that is it's humbling, and it's great energy to be sitting at a table with so many thought leaders across the country, because the best ideas come from outside, right? They don't come. You don't want to be the smartest person at the table. You don't want to be always with the only ideas at the table. The best comes when you are having thought partnership.
And so, how should people treat, like when they're in the room? Should they kind of make sure that their voice is heard, or should they kind of go on the offensive, be aggressive, or should they kind of be passive and wait to be called on? And how do they engage respectfully and professionally?
I think first of all, they're usually choosing the people. Most often they've got the right people at the table. They've got the right organizations, or they have the right representation. And with that, it becomes the mutual respect, because it's the connection. You're not just connecting from a business perspective. These are people that they have lives, right? You're connecting with them on, you want to move your business forward, but you also care about them as a human being. And so there's inherently this respect that is formed for others. And you want to hear what others, where their perspective comes from. So I think it's not elbows out. It's not, and again, there can be some hard conversations in there, but having it done respectfully is the right way to do that.
I think what you just said is, I'm going for the personal human being connection first. I think the other part that I might add to that like if I'm in a room like that I think people can see through maybe a selfish point of view, maybe I should maybe rephrase that as a self-interested point of view versus I'm here for my point of view is going to be representative of maybe a more global or the whole team.
Correct.
Which comes with, might not be your point of view. Maybe you have to have a compromise point of view and say, hey, I kind of prefer this, but I think this might be good for all of us collectively.
It's
and so
correct.
I think people kind of are wanting to see is Kim or is Charlie or whomever going to be just looking out for themselves, or are they looking out for the kind of the greater good?
That's right. When you're serving in those roles, you have to, and sometimes it's talking out loud, for us, for Broad River, for our business, for us personally, this would be what we would prefer. But if we are taking a step back, are others able to replicate that? Can they also do what we are doing? And you have to have the global mindset when you're sitting at the table.
It also may be who you represent, who's like back home, like who are the people who are going to be impacted by these decisions, and you have to really take that seriously with a sense of responsibility.
Yep.
Well, Kim, this has been a fun conversation. I have one last thing, but before I get into that, is there anything I haven't asked you or that you haven't kind of conveyed or had a chance to speak about that you really was on your heart, your mind to kind of talk about today?
It's on my heart and my mind today, right?
Well, you're coming off your birthday.
Well, and also, how many more days do we have football coming up?
That's where I was going to go. So listen,
I'm not sure how I knew that.
Yeah, so I've got this beautiful helmet that has sat in my office for many years, and this was a gift by Kim Harkness via Lou, your husband. Lou Harkness.
Yes,
Thank you, Lou. Shout out to Lou.
Yeah.
Lewis. Or Lou, as his friends like to call him. So this is so it is football season. How's Tennessee going to do? I don't know that I really care. How's Ole Miss going to do? More importantly,
let's see.
Enough about you. Let's talk about me.
Tennessee's going to do better than Ole Miss.
Come on,
Go
Kim.
ahead, book it.
Come on, Kim.
Book it.
We got playoffs. I've already got my tickets for the playoffs. Hey, only 12 teams get in, I think, this year. So we'll see. I don't know. Tennessee, I'm sure they'll be really good. But
I think you're down a coach too, is that right?
No. I went to the Rebel Road Trip. I saw Pete Golding in person here recently at Quail Hollow in Charlotte. Charlotte was the first stop for the Rebel Road Trip.
Okay.
Met a couple of players in Golding, and Keith Carter, the AD, was there. It was awesome. And we got free six. Trinidad Chambliss coming back for his 10th year, maybe just his 6th year. We got Kewan Lacey coming back. We've got studs. Will Elkels on the D line. We're ready.
I think they passed some laws about the age limits, didn't they?
Well, listen. They're still working through all those laws. NIL, it's in flux. But you got to be ahead. You got to skate to where the puck is going.
That's right.
And listen, Ole Miss might be this year's Indiana Hoosiers. Yeah, so or not. This may not age well.
I love your optimism and your hope.
Hey, it's August. It's got to be optimistic. We got September 6th in Nashville, Louisville, Ole Miss Louisville. You should go to the game. We can go to the game.
Let's go.
Tell Lou we should go to the game.
Let's go.
Well, I got you tickets. I got you tickets
all
to
right.
the Ole Miss Louisville
Day on
game.
Rocky Top is always a good day.
I don't know what that means. We're gonna there's no Rocky Top here, Kim. I don't see a UT helmet. I see an Ole Miss helmet. I'm just kidding. Listen, this is you're maybe my favorite person from East Tennessee. I like East Tennessee. East Tennessee's good. We joke, we have fun here. You have to in marketing, especially with traffic where it is. But we're gonna get that traffic going.
We are.
Yeah. So listen, it's not all fun and games, but you got to have fun while you're being serious, right?
That's exactly right.
All right. Well, that's Kim Harkness. Episode 372, this episode of Stories from the River. Thanks for joining us. Hey, give us a follow, a like, subscribe, throw us some feedback, and we'll be here every Tuesday for you. Rain or snow or shine.
Or shine. There you go.
Thanks so much, Kim.
Go Vols.
Thanks for listening to Stories from the River. To check out more episodes, visit storiesfromtheriver.com. To watch this episode, go to youtube.com/@storiesfromtheriver. Join us again next week. And remember to like, rate, and subscribe to the podcast.